Alright, me and my trusty guard dog back again. We're doing another review. This one's going to be of a new handgun I just got. This is a Sig Sauer P226. Got this in a 40 cal. This is something I was so excited about. I've been waiting for this thing for like, we live in Maryland, so they got this rule where you gotta have these shell casings with your guns. The shell casings get sent to the police, the state troopers. Sig ships theirs to Maryland without the shell casings, so I've been waiting forever because we had to buy the gun, send it back to Sig, have them fire it, send it back to the dealer with the shell casings, then do the registration paperwork for the police, wait again on that. Finally it was available for pickup a few days ago, so I went up and got it about 3 or 4 days ago. Late in the evening, and the very next day me and my son took it out and fired it. And I'm going to put a video up this probably about the same time I put this video up. There's going to be a video of us at the range with it, and you'll see that. But this is man, incredible handgun right here. This is, this is something else. I'm telling you. What you got here is, this is what it comes with. Actually, I've taken a couple of things out. There was a cable magazine lock that would go through the whole magazine and would keep the slide, or keep the keep you from being able to put a magazine in the magazine, or a magazine in the magazine well. I took that out. That came with it. Other than that, I think that's just about it. Otherwise, it's what you see here. The one I got has the 4 15-round clips magazines. These are, I can tell you, when I first got this, and the night before we went to the range, like I said, I picked it up that night. We went to the range early the next morning, and when I first loaded it up that night, and I loaded all the magazines to get ready for the range, just putting the, I guess maybe I was just excited about getting this thing, but just putting the rounds in the magazine is so well balanced, the spring is so smooth, rounds just slide in, the feed is nice on it when you get out to the range and start firing. Just a quality, quality magazine. That's the least of this weapon that you'd be concerned with, but it's something else. And I'll be honest with you, this is a beautiful handgun. I'm telling you. It's not heavy. It's not light. I'm not sure what it weighs, but it's somewhere in between what I would consider to be a heavy or light weapon. I mean, it's certainly very manageable. The hand grips, as you see, they kind of got these raised edges on them. It sticks to the hand. It feels really good. If you're small, got small hands like I do, it'll fill up your palm, and I don't mind that. I like that in a handgun, actually. I like to feel like you got complete control of it, whether your hands are small or large. Like I said, these perforated edges, not perforated, but these raised edges across the grip just have a tendency to hold on to the hand. So once you grab it, you've got it. I mean, it doesn't matter whether your palms are sweaty, whether they're dirty, whether they're wet. It just doesn't matter. This thing is sticking to your palm, and it makes you feel like you've got control of the weapon, and it's all good. By the way, before this video started, I did clear the weapon. As you can see, this weapon is clear. You got the accessory rail, comes machined into this one. To my understanding, some of the earlier P226s, that wasn't a feature. It obviously is a feature in this one. The trigger pull on this thing, first the trigger itself, you can see it curves a little bit more at the bottom than a lot of triggers do. I tell you, it almost wraps. I'll tell you what it feels like when you're firing this thing. Almost, instead of it feeling like you're wrapping the tip of your finger into the trigger, it almost feels like the trigger is wrapping around your finger. I mean, it just cradles right in the tip of that finger. If you get the tip of that finger in there just right, I mean, it just sits in there and it holds it, and it's ready, man. I mean, it's ready, and it feels good. It works right. It gives you a good solid pull, but you get a good tactile feel for the trigger, and I believe that aids, for me at least, in the overall feel of the shooting, the comfort of the shooting, I should say. And then that, the more comfortable you are with the weapon you're shooting, the better you're going to be able to operate the weapon. As you see now, this weapon is, I just cocked this on the hammer's back. This one has, one of the things about this, it does not come, and I don't know if you can order it this way or not, but it doesn't come with ambidextrous controls. As you can see, this is a right-handed model, so all my controls on the left side of the weapon. You can order it with the controls on the right side of the weapon. I do know that for a fact. I don't know whether you can order ambidextrous controls or not. I don't know whether they'll mount them on both sides or whether you have to have one or the other. I found that a little bit odd because a lot of automatics today, you kind of pretty much are getting ambidextrous controls. But you know, I'm right-handed, so unless somebody shoots my right hand off, that's the hand I'm gonna be shooting with. So it doesn't make me a whole lot of difference. You know, but I just thought that was a little bit interesting. Anyway, what you got here is the hammer's back. They've got a decocker right here on the side, so you simply pull that down. You can safely decock the weapon. You got your magazine, your slide lock right here, just behind the decocker. It's pretty standard stuff. Feels good. The spring is very tight. Spring is very tight in this weapon. Spring is very tight, and it gives a good overall feel to the weapon when you're firing it, how quickly it snaps back. Yet it's very controllable weapon at the same time. You got your magazine release, and what I like about this one, and again, this weapon is, as you can see, is clear. The magazine is empty. But what I do like about this is when you've got it in there, and again, this is the 15 round magazine. I think standard is it's either 12 or 13 with this. I believe it's 12. But when you got it and you're ready to reload, not only does it shoot the magazine out, but it actually ejects it with there's a little kick to it. So even if you're on the side a little bit, if you got to turn sideways, it still shoots out pretty far, as opposed to just releasing it. It actually shoots out. And I kind of like that. The quicker you can get the magazine out, obviously the quicker you can get the next one in. And if you find yourself in a position where you're in your home and you're defending your family, that's important. Obviously, if you're in your home defending your family, you don't want to be shooting any more shots than you have to. Hopefully, you wouldn't have to empty a whole magazine. Definitely not start on the second one. But if you do, then all the better that you can get the empty one out and the new one in as fast as you can. I'm just going to show you really quick the breakdown on this weapon. This is, I love it. Simplicity. It's so simple the way it breaks down. All you do with this thing is lock the slide back, okay? And then you got your little lever here. You just spin that down. That's a 90-degree spin. You're going to release the slide and ease it forward, okay? Slide just comes off. It's simple as pie, And then you've got your frame. Guide rod comes right out. Spring is not built in, so it does separate. Extremely light guide rod. It's hollow, but extremely light also. And then the barrel pops right out. So it's easy, man. and it goes right back together with equal ease. And I love it. I'm telling you, I've only fired it once, so I've only had to pop it apart and clean it once. But I'm telling you, it's probably one of the quickest weapons you take apart and get a good clean on it as quickly as you need to do, even if you were in the field, and then you're back together. It's just like that. The thing is incredible. It's cocked, so I'll decock it. In terms of, and I spoke a little bit about this in terms of the accuracy and stuff and control of the weapon. I'll speak about it a little bit in the video we did actually at the range. But I gotta tell you, I had heard so much about SIGs, and just had never had one and decided to go ahead out and get one and spend the money on it. It's as most of you might know, and if you don't, I'll tell you, they're expensive as hell. So if you're interested in them, you gotta. It's an investment, so it's something that that you might look at and definitely talk to some people and look at some reviews. And if you got a chance, go out and shoot one. I didn't know anyone who had one, so I didn't even get to fire, but I heard such good things about it. And I got a pretty good gun dealer gun shop that I go to, and they're pretty knowledgeable guys. So once I did some research on it, looked at some reviews, read some articles, checked out the history of the weapon, then I ultimately went and talked to the guys at the gun shop, and they had nothing but praise for it. And it came down to this or H&K for me. And I ended up deciding to go with this. And I'm going to tell you, I can't imagine I would be any happier with anything else. man, I can't tell you. And I know I've said this, but this thing feels good. You know, I mean, in one day, this is going to be in my favorite handgun. You know, we got some others that we really enjoy and that we love and have a lot of fun with. But this is now, without question, my favorite. I mean, the thing feels good, man. I can't say enough about it. You know, I like to, you know, I like to touch and rub my handguns, and I like to smell them. It even smells good, you know. And the thing is just beautiful, man. It's absolutely beautiful weapon. Shoots incredibly. You can shoot some incredible groups with it. I need a lot of practice with it, so I didn't shoot any incredible groups. But clearly, what I was able to determine, and because I put up a couple of videos, and you'll see them also, or you can, they'll be on. Shot groups aren't all that great, but we had some other groups, my son and I did, that we didn't video out at the same session at the range that day. They were a lot better as the day went on, and we got more used to this weapon. But overall, what I found was that the amount of control you get out of this, and the ability to place rounds very close to one another. If you're doing, say, a 3-round burst, for instance, a 3-round control burst, pop, pop, pop. You know, take a pause, line it up again, pop, pop, pop. You know, it's just incredible how close you can put 3 quick rounds with this. And even I ran a magazine, a full 15-round magazine through it one time, from start to stop, bam, 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 bam. And you can keep this thing within the, you know, understanding that you're pushing out 15 rounds without reacquiring a target, but trying to focus on the same point you started shooting at originally. You can keep a relatively close shot group. I mean, you can do, you know, a torso group at 25 yards out of 15 rounds, you know, all of them, frankly, you know, that are pretty tight in the torso with this weapon. I mean, it's got a kick. It's a 40. It's certainly got a kick, but it's, you know, I don't know what they do to machine it, the way it works, but it just doesn't kick as hard as I would have thought. It's so much more controllable. And in fact, the reason we got the 40 was because I didn't have one. I don't have one. We have a 9 here, and we have a 45, and all of our weapons, you know, my idea is ultimately the use for them is home protection. Ultimately, that's what, you know, they all exist for as far as I'm concerned. I like to have a lot of good fun with them, but in terms of these handguns, you know, ultimately if somebody comes in my house in the middle of the night, I want something I can pull out and take care of my family with. I got this because the 45 is just, I love it. It'll get away. It's just, you know, it's got a lot of kick to it, and it'll you know, you put somebody down with it, there's no doubt about that, but you just as likely be, you know, in the closed confines, bullets flying all over the damn place because it's got a lot of kick. The 9 I love, incredible accuracy. Didn't hit as hard as I want to. So this was the idea behind getting the 40. This one is incredible. The amount of kick you get out of it is decent. It's nice. It's certainly the kick you would get out of a 40, but the amount of control, the way it almost bounces back when you fire this weapon, it almost bounces back to your original, you know, acquisition point, to the original point where you had aimed. It's almost, as long as you have a good grip on it and you have good control of the weapon, if you don't fight it, you don't have to force it back, is what I'm saying. It almost is like you pull that trigger, and if you just hold on, it almost is like it recoiled and then it returns itself to where you were originally aiming, or damn near close to it. And I think that's an incredible thing in the weapon. Not a lot of weapons that do that. So that's the Sig P226. This is a 40 cal. I recommend it for anybody who's interested in the 40 or even a 9. I haven't shot it in a 9, but I hear a 9 is absolutely incredible in this one also. So that's our review. P226 Sig Sauer 40 cal.